Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the State of Wisconsin Fire and Police Hall of Fame's 25th Anniversary Induction Ceremony. Now please rise so we can say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forward, march.
Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce our board of directors, because without them, none of this would have been happening tonight. I'm Chris Opheim. I'm the president of the State of Wisconsin Fire and Police Hall of Fame. Our vice president is Chad Delore. The secretary treasurer, Chad Delore. Becky Stratton and Susie Olson. They've all contributed massively to make this event happen tonight. So if Mayor Jim, if you want to come up and say a few words about our fine city.
Good evening, everybody. I am Jim Payne. I am the mayor of the city of Superior. And if you've come into town, if you've come to Superior for this event, I want to assure you that this actually is a pretty nice day for us. It would be a mistake, I think, to attend this event and think that it's a celebration of bravery. Because bravery actually is somewhat overrated. Any of us can be brave if someone we care about is in danger, or if the moment really and truly calls for it. Many of us may get that moment. Some people are brave just for fun. Skydivers, mountain climbers just enjoy bravery. My dentist calls me brave for getting through the appointment. This is an evening to recognize something much more special and far more rare. Duty. The people that serve our communities as police officers and firefighters take on a responsibility to demonstrate not just bravery, but professionalism, dedication to duty, devotion to their community, and expose themselves to trauma and to danger on an almost daily basis. And I think the most important thing to recognize tonight is not what these people that we will celebrate here have done, but what their colleagues and them may yet do. Because that's the real definition of duty. That you are called to stand ready, to be prepared to do what almost nobody else in this community is willing or able to do, and to be able to do it at a moment's notice. It is entirely possible that Superior firefighters and Superior police officers may leave this event tonight, at any moment, to respond to crisis. That level of commitment to community is what holds a society together, and yet the people willing to demonstrate it are very, very rare. And that's why it's so important and why I am so grateful that here in Superior we get to recognize those people every single day at our Police and Fire Museum and at the Police and Fire Hall of Fame. Now, almost every year, I have the honor of speaking at retirement ceremonies for police officers and firefighters, and most of the time, I will say to them that there really is no way that this community can ever truly express its gratitude or repay the debt we owe these people for their service. But that may not be true. The fact is, what we celebrate here tonight, and when you hear from the folks that were recognized, you will hear, I'm certain, a great deal of humility, a great deal of shrugging off what they did onto their colleagues and try to downplay what really happened here. But the fact is, by celebrating this, by recognizing these people and their colleagues, we may be able to repay them with something that I think they may truly find valuable. We might inspire another generation of citizens to take up this work, to continue the legacy that these proud men and women have established for their colleagues and for their communities. And for that, I am deeply grateful and deeply honored that you are here in spirit tonight and that we get to help celebrate and recognize the work that you've done. Thank you, welcome, and congratulations.
Normally at this point we would give a small history of the origins of the Hall of Fame, but tonight we've got a video from way back in 1998 of Herb Bergson giving the first induction history, and we're going to let you watch that instead.
The Hall of Fame really wasn't my idea or any of my doing. When I was mayor, I received a letter from a gentleman who at the time, he lived in Madison, but he was a boy in Superior. He grew up in Superior. And I'd like to read you the letter that he sent me. It says, "Dear Mr. Mayor, my reason for writing this letter to you is to make a request for recognition for policemen who have sacrificed their lives in the line of duty. At the time of this letter, one of the officers who qualifies for this honor is my father, Finley Beaton. I am not asking for a Costa memorial. Most police stations I have visited have a plaque with the officers' names engraved below and placed in a prominent area of the beautiful new city building where visitors would pause to read it and know that slain officers are not just buried and then forgotten thereafter. I am sure that the officers you have now would also appreciate this act. If approved, to know that if in the future anything of this nature ever happens to them, that they too would be remembered for their bravery. I think too many years have passed, and I've always hoped that the day would arrive when I might see that my father would receive that most deserving gift, for the most precious gift he could give, his life. Thank you in advance for any effort on the subject. Signed, Vincent Beaton, Durand, Wisconsin. At the time he lived in Durand outside of Eau Claire and eventually did move to Madison. I'd like to tell you a little bit about his father. Finley Beaton was 48 years old when he interrupted a burglary on Sunday morning on July 27, 1919. He was on foot patrol when he heard an explosion inside the Kinney Meat Market. When he walked to the rear of the market, he was shot by the lookout at the rear door. It is believed that there were 4 or 5 burglars who had broken into the rear door and then blew the safe with nitroglycerin. The burglary netted only $1,400, and most of the money was in checks. The still unsolved murder left wife Mary and children, Ronald and Vincent, who were ages 4 and 2, alone in their new home at 1209 Weeks Avenue. The youngest child, Vincent, who was 2, remembers his father and used to cry out for him at night. His father was known for his acts of kindness and generosity, not just to family and friends, but to everyone he came in contact with, according to all news accounts. A fitting memorial was the dream of son Vincent when he requested such from the city in 1991. As a result of Vincent's dedication to a father who loved him dearly, a granite memorial was dedicated in Superior City Hall just 2 years later. Vince Beaton vowed never to rest until such a memorial recognized the commitment of his father. Vincent went to join his father just a year after the stone was dedicated. Last year, the State Hall of Fame was opened in the city of Superior. The Hall of Fame will honor the first officer inducted who was killed in the line of duty, one Finley Beaton. However, the Hall of Fame is actually, excuse me, a tribute to a 2-year-old little boy who loved his daddy. I have a hard time telling that story. He was a good friend of mine. He died just 2 years ago, and would have loved to have been here for this, and he'd be darn proud to see what these guys have all done to remember everyone around the state. It's wonderful. And we hope that all of you will come back annually, not just for yourselves, but for the people like Vincent Beaton, who loved his daddy and lost him at an early age.
I'm certain Herb would be thrilled to know that we're continuing Vincent's legacy today. Right now, I'd like to invite up Pastor J.R. Rudd to say an invocation before our food service starts.
Good evening. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening as we come together and we celebrate the accomplishments of men and women in the police and fire departments. We thank you for our family and friends that are here to celebrate with us. Father, it'd be wise for us to also take time to remember those who are important to us that we've lost, whether nationally or in the line of duty, who paid the ultimate price in their call. God, it's by your strength that we can accomplish the things that we do. Lord, I pray that as we congregate around the tables this evening, that you will bless the conversations we have, as we share stories, just time together. Father, I also pray that you bless the food that we're going to eat to our bodies. And again, just want to say a prayer for all those who right now who are on you, who are at their halls and stations, where you place a hedge of protection around them and keep them safe. Return them home safely to their friends and their family. We offer this evening up to you. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Herb, at the time, was the mayor of the city of Superior. In fact, he was the mayor when I was hired as a police officer here, which he used to like to brag about a lot. And Herb wore his heart on his sleeve. And we had a couple legislators up in this area, Frank Boyle and Bob Joe, who Herb knew well, and got them to introduce a bill in the legislature that formed the basis for the State of Wisconsin Fire and Police Hall of Fame. As a result of that act in 1995, the State Hall of Fame was officially formed and was officially seated in the city of Superior. You'll all be invited tomorrow as you're able to, particularly the inductees. You get free admission with your program, I believe. And everybody else to go to our East End Fire Hall, where the hall is co-located. And you'll see the awards there. Herb took that letter, got a hold of legislators. They introduced the bill, and it was formed. Sadly, Herb passed away just last year. A good friend of mine. I supervised him on the police department ultimately. Now I'm an attorney, so you can't believe half of what I say, but he was a man who, like I say, wore his heart on his sleeve. And he was also the only person that I'm aware of that was the mayor of the city of Superior and the mayor of Duluth, Minnesota. So we wanted to make sure everybody was aware and heard the full story. It was Vincent wanting to honor his dad, Finley, from his death, but more so than not, every person needs to die to be considered
tonight is Jacob Johnsrud. He's from the Manitowoc Fire Department. He was actually inducted on September 10th, 2016, but he couldn't make it up here to receive the award, so we said, we'll just get you next time. Well, with COVID and all that, here we are 7 years later, and Jacob finally gets his award. On the morning of April 14, 2008, City of Manitowoc firefighter paramedic Jacob Johnsrud was off duty and enjoying a cup of coffee with his fiancée on the porch of her Milwaukee apartment, when they were interrupted by screaming and calls for help. Johnsrud left the apartment and followed the sounds until he visualized two women. One was a young and noticeably excited woman, the other a middle-aged female bleeding profusely from ear to ear from a knife wound as a result of an attempted homicide. Upon seeing Jacob, the victim and her daughter fled across the street to his aid on the front lawn of his fiance's apartment. The victim was then no longer able to move under her own power. After instructing the victim's daughter to flee into the apartment and his fiancée to call 911 and lock the door, Johnsrud used his own sweatshirt to help control the incapacitated victim's bleeding by holding pressure on her wounds, while also manually opening her airway. During this time, the assailant returned, presumably to finish off his victim. Johnsrud risked his own life by continuing to care for the victim, obstructing the assailant's access to the victim, and talking down the armed assailant, demanding that the assailant leave the scene. The assailant eventually did leave the scene, but was later apprehended and arrested. The victim survived. Jacob Johnsrud was presented with the Award of Valor from the City of Manitowoc. The Award of Valor is the highest honor the city can bestow. Johnsrud also received a Merit Award from the City of Milwaukee Police Department. The Milwaukee Police Department Homicide Division credited Johnsrud's quick and selfless action in saving this woman's life. So could we please get Jacob Johnsrud up here and get him this award.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Really, a lot of what I did and look around the room, I don't think many people would do much different than what I did. Under the circumstances they saw, the real people to thank are the people we all get to surround ourselves with. Family, parents, friends, co-workers, people that help make us the people we are, really are the people that help make this happen for the community and all the people we get to serve. So, thank you again.
Our next story tonight is Lawrence Plummer from the Durand Volunteer Fire Department. Larry Pitt Plummer's illustrious career spanning over 53 years exemplifies one of the very best of the firefighting profession. Larry's journey in the Durand Fire Department began in 1966, igniting a flame of passion and dedication that would burn brightly over 5 decades. Rising through the ranks, he assumed the esteemed position of fire chief in 1983, a testament to his leadership and expertise. His tenure as chief lasted until 2015, when he made the decision to step down, but his commitment to the department remained resolute as he continued as a senior member, bringing his wealth of experience to bear in over 200 fire inspections each year. Larry's impact extended far beyond the boundaries of Durand. His unwavering pursuit of excellence led him to pursue numerous National Fire Academy courses, Incident Command Course, NIFRS training, while served on the Chippewa Valley Technical College Fire Service Board and as an alternate on the National Volunteer Fire Council. Larry's impact on the fire service is immeasurable. His knowledge and wisdom were not confined to himself. He generously shared them with his department and any firefighter eager to learn and grow. Larry's exceptional leadership left an indelible mark on the fire service in the state of Wisconsin. His tireless efforts have been recognized and applauded through various accolades, including the Red Cross Hero Lifetime Award in 2010, the National Volunteer Firefighters Council Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012, and the Durand Fire Department Firefighter of the Year in 1989 and 2004. Larry was honored as the Wisconsin State Firefighters Association Firefighter of the Year in 2004 and received the esteemed Wisconsin State Firefighters Association Lifetime Achievement Award in 2019. Sadly, Larry passed away in November 2022. It was after he was nominated, but his legacy will continue to inspire current and future generations of firefighters. And I know that Larry has several family members that are here tonight in the audience, so I'm wondering if somebody wants to come up and accept his award.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm Pitt's granddaughter, Larry's granddaughter. There's really not much to say. He was an amazing guy, and this award is well deserved. So, yeah.
The next induction is for Officer Anthony Becker, of the Port Washington Police Department. Upon arrival at a call for a house fire, Officer Anthony Becker of the Port Washington Police Department, showing remarkable courage, entered the smoke-filled garage to locate the resident. Despite the limited visibility and intense heat, Officer Becker called out to the resident, instructing him to get low and crawl towards him. Recognizing the resident's confusion, rapid deteriorating conditions, and hampered movement ability, Officer Becker, without hesitation, entered the residence and dragged him to safety. Despite inhaling smoke during the rescue, Officer Becker remained committed to his duties. Officer Becker's actions were instrumental in saving the resident from serious harm or even death. By prioritizing human life and displaying exceptional courage, Officer Becker successfully carried out a life-saving rescue operation. Officer Becker's actions demonstrate bravery and a commitment which prioritizes human life above everything else. The selfless actions of officers like that of Officer Becker serve as an inspiration and reflect the dedication and commitment of law enforcement personnel who put their lives on the line to protect and serve others. If Officer Becker would come forward at this time.
Probably like everybody else here, I don't think we're expecting to give a speech or anything like that, so I don't really have anything prepared. But I will say this, that day, I know police and firefighters always joke and stuff like that, we have that, kind of thing, go back and forth and stuff like that. But that day really kind of put stuff in perspective for me with the firefighters and the stuff that you guys go through, because I wanted to know without any gear, I mean, you guys have all gear, you guys go through the training and stuff like that. I give you guys a hell of a lot of credit for the stuff you guys do, honestly. Because that day scared the hell out of me. Even when I was at the hospital, I kind of had that moment at the end, I teared up and I was like, I could have just killed myself. But obviously I didn't. I was able to rescue the gentleman out of the fire and stuff like that. So I think with that, I just like to say that because I know how much we like to kind of go back and forth with the police and fire. There's a lot of respect for what you guys do. So thank you guys.
The next inductee is retired Fire Chief Mitchell R. Wade, PhD. Fire Chief Mitchell Wade had an extensive and impactful career with the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department, or WRFD, spanning over 26 years. He held numerous positions within the department, including firefighter, paramedic, fire marshal, training officer, paramedic director, fire investigator, fire inspector, operations director, and eventually retired as a fire chief in 2011. Throughout his tenure, Chief Wade implemented several programs and initiatives that had a lasting positive impact on the WRFD and the surrounding communities. One of Chief Wade's notable achievements was the introduction of a paramedic service to the small community in 1997. Under his leadership as the department's paramedic service director, this service received the Wisconsin EMS Service of the Year Award in 2002. Chief Wade's proactive approach to EMS prompted 2 neighboring services in central Wisconsin to upgrade their programs to the paramedic and critical care paramedic levels, benefiting citizens across the region. Under Chief Wade's guidance, the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department also became the first CAS-accredited EMS service in the state of Wisconsin. That's CAAS. I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure Chief Wade is going to tell me. Chief Wade's experience as a financial officer in one of his assignments during his 42-year military career proved valuable in restructuring and streamlining the department's budget processes. His creative budgeting strategies allowed the WRFD and the community to become more fiscally responsible while maintaining flexibility for growth and expansion. Recognizing the importance of mutual aid, Chief Wade worked closely with surrounding departments to improve mutual aid agreements. One notable accomplishment was the establishment of an area-wide rapid intervention team, enhancing emergency response capabilities. Outside of his role in the WRFD, Chief Wade served as a founding board member of the Wisconsin State Firefighters Memorial in Wisconsin Rapids. He actively contributed to various organizations, including the Wisconsin State Fire Instructors, North Central Regional Trauma Advisory Council, State of Wisconsin EMS Education Committee, Wisconsin State Fire Inspectors Association, Wisconsin State Fire Chiefs Association, Wood County Fire Chiefs Association, and the North Central Fire Chiefs Association. Chief Wade's commitment to professional growth was evident through earning a doctoral degree specializing in leadership and organizational change. His graduation from the National Fire Academy's Executive Fire Officer Program, and his certification as a Chief Fire Officer. Additionally, he continues to share his knowledge and expertise as a visiting professor of over 36 years at various universities and academic institutions. An accomplished author and expert in leadership, Dr. Wade continues to give back to the fire service as an EMR for the Township of Saratoga EMS Squad, where he has also developed a comprehensive firefighter rehabilitation program that is used when the squad is dispatched to working fires to assist with the welfare and safety of local firefighters. Author and expert in leadership, Dr. Wade continues to give back to the fire service as an EMR for the Township of Saratoga EMS Squad, where he has also developed a comprehensive firefighter rehabilitation program that is used when the squad is dispatched to working fires to assist with the welfare and safety of local firefighters. At this time, if I could have Dr. Wade come forward.
Thank you, Chad. Much appreciated. I'll start off by, first of all, thanking the State of Wisconsin Fire and Police Hall of Fame Board of Directors for this great, great honor. I realize how difficult it is to go through all these applications and pick out award winners, but it's very much appreciated. I'd also like to thank Susie Olson. That's you, Susie, yeah. I'd like to thank you for the back and forth the last couple of months. She was a pleasure to work with and actually get to this point. I'd also like to obviously congratulate the award winners tonight. All of them. I feel kind of humbled to be up here holding this when we got all these heroes in the room, but somehow they stuck my name in there and I got it right. But thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'd also like to thank my beautiful date in the back, Jean Nelson. Jean, wave to the crowd. I know you like it when I do this, so Jean, thank you for accompanying me tonight. And also Wisconsin Rapids Fire Chief Todd Eckes and his wife Donna. Thank you. Right where the mayor is sitting, so we know the table is. And lastly, if somebody that does have a doctoral degree in leadership, I know that you do not get these kind of awards by yourself. I want to accept this on behalf of the Wisconsin Rapids Fire Department and all the past and current firefighters that I have worked with that made this possible. So thank you again very much, Chad. Board of Directors, very much appreciated. I will accept this humbly on behalf of our departments. And go Badgers and go Packers.
Right.
All right, next we have Brian Green from the La Crosse Fire Department. On the morning of April 7th, 2017, the La Crosse Fire Department received a distress call regarding a house fire. The report stated that there were individuals trapped inside the building. Engine 1 was dispatched to set up a ground ladder to rescue the trapped occupants from a second-floor window. Upon arrival at the scene, heavy black smoke was observed billowing out of the window. Firefighter Brian Green wasted no time in setting up the ground ladder with the assistance of his crew. Despite challenging circumstances, Brian proceeded with the rescue mission without hesitation. He successfully assisted one person down the ladder to safety and promptly returned to the rescue of the next trapped victim. The second victim, a female, was hysterical, gripped by an extreme fear of heights and unable to fit through the window opening. Brian demonstrated quick thinking and decided to remove the window to create a wider exit for the distressed individual. He managed to calm her down and safely carry her down the ladder, ensuring her escape from the burning building. Brian Green's swift actions and quick response stand as a testament to the remarkable heroism that saved the lives of the people involved in the incident. So Brian, if you could come forward and accept your award.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody from the board for the nomination and for getting the award. I'm incredibly humbled though. This is like, there should be 3 other people standing up here with me. From the probationary firefighter that set the ladder to the driver that got us there speedingly, and my captain, who was another chief on the cross, making that decision to get a ladder thrown right away and get these people out. It was quite the morning. So we're actually just coming back from a fire that we were dealing with probably a couple hours ago. So we're running on all sleep, so it was a good one. Thank you. I'm humbled. Thank you so much.
All right, next, we're going to read a story from West Allis Fire Department and the West Allis Police Department. On Sunday, June 19th, 2022, shortly after midnight, frantic calls flooded 911 about a mobile home fire in a quiet neighborhood with a 3-year-old boy trapped inside. When officers Jordan Cooper and Ryan Schultz of the West Allis Police
Department arrived at the scene, Corporal Schultz located a window to the bedroom. Using his baton, he attempted to break in to save the boy. As the window shattered, an explosion made him recoil, the heat setting the neighboring home aflame. Undeterred by the explosion, Officer Cooper rushed to Schultz's side at the window, calling out for the frightened child. Officer Caleb Hoff and Ryan Stugin arrived to assist in the rescue effort. Officer Cooper removed his duty belt, preparing to squeeze through the narrow opening as Officer Hoff lifted him to the frame. Meanwhile, Officer Stugin brought in a Halligan bar, determined to clear the remaining glass for better access. For the officers, their mission was clear, but the increasing intensity of the fire hindered their entry. From the window, they called out to the disoriented and frightened child, hoping to guide him to safety. Despite their efforts, they were unable to reach him. Just then, Dan Brody, Jacob Levenhagen, Thomas Marquardt, and Deontay Pettis of West Allis Fire Department's Engine 63 arrived on the scene. They deployed their hose line and joined the rescue efforts while the fierce flames raged on. Realizing that the police officers had pinpointed the exact location of the trapped boy, Fire Lieutenant Brody pried the window frame away from the structure. As his crew entered the other end of the home to fight the flames, Brody made a daring decision. He climbed through the window into the burning bedroom without a hose line. Employing the vent, enter, isolate, search method, he located the child, cradled him in his arms, determined to bring him to safety. Waiting outside, Officer Hoff took the boy from Brody's arms and sprinted to a waiting ambulance crew. Less than 8 minutes after Engine 63's arrival, the child was en route to the hospital. Despite sustaining significant injuries from smoke inhalation, the young boy's spirit and resilience shone through, and he eventually made a full recovery. This heart-stopping rescue operation was a true testament to the power of teamwork and bravery in the face of adversity. The combined efforts of the responding officers and firefighters demonstrated unwavering dedication to preserving life and protecting their community. Before we invite these rescuers forward, we'd like to play you the video because this entire rescue was caught on body cam video. We have a video that's been provided to us by one of the West Allis journalisms, I guess, one of the media broadcasts from there.
A little boy is saved from a fire just outside of Milwaukee. The dramatic moments caught on police officer body camera. Now, the video may be hard to watch, but we are showing it because the little guy is okay. Sunday, midnight. Fire ravaged this West Allis mobile home at Highway 100 in Greenfield.
It's fully engulfed. I can't get in. There's a 3-year-old in the back bedroom.
Trapped inside a back bedroom, 3-year-old MJ Cincinnati struck. Police body camera shows the officers bust through the glass.
Where's the kid? Back bedroom. I tried to smash out the window. MJ! MJ, can you hear me? MJ, come on, buddy! MJ! It's the police! It's okay, buddy, come on!
Through the smoke, they spot him.
Oh, hey, MJ, come here! MJ, come on, buddy! MJ, it's okay, buddy, come on!
The flames grow, and you can hear the officers' desperation to get MJ out.
You're right here, buddy! Oh, you're right there!
One officer is lifted inside but can't reach him. Then a firefighter rips the window frame out, climbs inside, hands MJ to an officer,
I got him.
who races with the boy in his arms to an ambulance. Mom Noelle Guy watched this video for the first time Tuesday.
I saw it and I cried. I bawled my eyes out.
She says when the fire started, she got her mother with health conditions out first, but couldn't get back to save her son.
I felt bad for not getting him out, but in the end, it was good because he has no burns.
She says her son remains in the hospital on a ventilator with oxygen, but is expected to pull through.
I'm amazed that they were able to get him out as quickly as they could.
And to the first responders,
You okay, MJ, buddy?
I would rather thank them in person than giving them a card or sending them a card to thank them. I would rather give them a big hug for saving my son.
That was WSIN's Hillary Mintz reporting.
incredible.
Yeah, our first responders and what they do.
Tonight, I believe we have 6 of the 8 rescuers. Sorry about that. If we could have the rescuers, Daniel Brody
he's a little small.
On behalf of the group up here, we want to say thank you. Those that nominated us, those that selected us from the board. It's a testament to what we do and what we train for, teamwork and partnership we do for. We're thankful that everything worked out as well as we trained for it to work out that day. And fortunate to be there to do it on a daily basis moving forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, how about a round of applause for all our inductees? Well, that brings the induction part of the ceremony to a close. I just want to make a few thank yous here before we wrap this up. First of all, I'd like to thank Dave and Jill Johnson for their assistance with all the video and ProPrint for their donation of these programs for the whole group. I'd like to thank UWS for providing a terrific facility here for us, and the UWS softball players who were our servers and kindly kept everything going during the meal today. So take the time to go and look at our silent auction items. We're going to close that off at 8:15, and that'll give you a chance to maybe make a couple of those last minute bids. We'd also like to thank Chartwells who did all the catering for tonight. They did a pretty good job. And last but not least, all of our sponsors. We've got a great many sponsors that helped with expenses organizing this event. A lot of them supported our silent auction over there, so this couldn't go on without them either. And that brings this part of the ceremony to a close. So thank you all for coming, and we will announce the winners of the silent auction at the right time. Thank you.
As the treasurer, I'd be remiss to let you know that we'll take cash, check, or they also have a square device that the Superior Public Museums is gracious enough to allow payment out at the registration table. So don't worry if you don't have enough cash for the silent auction. We'll take that. You can Venmo it to me. I'll transfer it. Trust me, I will. However you want to give us your money, we'll take it.
Thank you again for coming.
I took this plastic thing, it like came off of right there. Pepper white.
I think so, yeah.